Katia, what are the details of the tariffs announced by Trump?
Well, as you said, it's going to hit everyone. There is a 10% tariff on every single country that sends goods into the U.S. There's going to be tariffs as high as 60% on other economies. And it's important to note that these are some of the U.S.'s biggest trading partners. You can think of Japan, South Korea, the European Union. All of these countries are going to be seeing their goods into the U.S. going up in price. And this is something that companies have immediately reacted to. Stocks are down across the board, of course, as we just heard. And we haven't even heard the retaliation yet, because what could exacerbate this is if these economies then come back. You know, we've heard from the EU so far. We've heard from Chinese officials who say that they're going to retaliate against this. And the details of that will really shape how far this goes and how much higher those rates could potentially go.
And Katia, China is, of course, a nation you know very well indeed. Are we looking potentially at the end, if not this year, then in a decade, of most US-China trade? Give us the scale and scope of what has been imposed on China.
Well, it is definitely a possibility. Bloomberg Economics ran some numbers very recently, finding that a 60% tariff rate, which is a number that has been floated by President Trump, would actually decimate most of trade between China and the U.S. Now, we're not at that level, even if you add in the sort of 45% and the 20% that was already imposed. But I think overall, I think that was the conclusion, is that trade would essentially cease to exist. Now, for other countries, they might be able to find exemptions, they might be able to negotiate something, but given China has been such a focus for the U.S. administration, as well as some countries like Vietnam, where they're kind of alleging that there's transshipments happening, it's not likely that they'll be able to reach that agreement.